Hi there, my name is Kevin Alcuni, and I'm a librarian here in the Department of Exploration and Creativity with the Los Angeles Public Library, and I'm here to welcome you to today's LA Made, Chef Jet Tila. Before we begin, we'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Humanities, our library foundation, and our behind-the-scenes staff for helping bring the LA Made programs to you virtually. LA Made focuses on the diverse landscape of Los Angeles, highlighting the immense artistic and performance talent that has developed in the course of the city's eclectic history. If you'd like to see more of our amazing programs, please visit our online calendar at lapl.org/events. And for our LA Made programs, visit lapl.org/LAMade. Our website also has blog posts and video links that highlights the library's diverse resources and upcoming programs. We'd also like to take this opportunity to pay our respects and acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territories of the Tongva, Chumash, Fernandino, Tataviam, and Keech tribes that is now occupied by Los Angeles. We recognize and acknowledge the first people of this land, honor their elders past and present, as well as their descendants who are citizens of these nations. For more information on which territory you may reside on, check out native-land.ca. There's the URL. I can't do it. Anyway, but now into today's program, Chef Jet Tila. And just as a reminder, participants will have an opportunity to win a free copy of Jet's newest book. Boom, right here. Even got the pages marked that we've been using. So please email the EC department at lapl.org for your chance to win a copy. Chef Jet Tila knows a thing or two about Thai cuisine. Growing up in Los Angeles, he spent time learning the ancient traditions of Asian cuisine from his Cantonese grandmother and working in the famed Bangkok Market. Now, as a restaurant owner and judge on the show Cutthroat Kitchen, he'll bring his years of experience and hard-earned knowledge for this amazing program. He's not going to be doing cooking, as we're about to see, but he's still going to come on and he's going to show you how to teach you some of the secrets of making your favorite Thai dishes taste even better than takeout. So let's welcome to our LA Made stage, Chef Jet Tila. Oh, you're muted, Chef.
Such a classic TV situation, isn't it? Good evening, Kevin. Good evening, everybody who's watching at home or abroad. Yeah, man. Like, I think I was making fun of was it last year's Oscars or something like that when he gave a whole speech muted.
No.
Thanks for telling me, because that was going to be me just now.
For 7 minutes.
Well, 45 minutes in this case, exactly. Good evening, everyone. Jet Tila here hanging out with you tonight. Thanks so much to the LA Public Library, Kevin and his team, and everyone who's made this possible. Tonight's really just going to be, I think, a little history of Thai people, Thai food in Los Angeles, which also is the history of Thai food in America. It's also going to be kind of my story, but I really want to open this up and give everyone who's watching an opportunity to do almost an AMA. I rarely get to do this, and I rarely get to connect with people at home. And I think this is super fun. So I'm going to do like crazy fun things, like shout outs to like Chasing Serenity. What up from YouTube? And we're really going to run this like a live stream, because I think that's super beneficial. But yeah, put your questions in the chat or field them over to the team and they'll get into my ear. All right, nuts and bolts. Instead of doing pad thai, I'm going to basically kind of talk about the history of my family, my history here, and then kind of just interrupt me as we go, if that sounds good. And then we're going to be giving away a bunch of copies of 101 Thai Dishes You Need to Cook Before You Die, the #1 Thai cookbook on Amazon, period. Anyway, man, I've been on TV so long, Kevin, that I sound naturally like a commercial, and it's so bad. So I'm going to take it down and just kind of talk about my history.
From a 10 to a 5, yeah.
There it is. How about from a 10 to like a real person?
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going for. Cool. Lori's already talking about tournament champions, which I will get to. What's up, Lori Goldstein? So Thai people have been in America in mass since 1966, believe it or not. It's not that long ago. It's only been about 50, 60 years ago. My family came over to the States, specifically Los Angeles, specifically Silver Lake in Los Angeles in the 60s. And for some reason, I had to be the first. Well, someone in the friend group was like probably living in Silver Lake, and everyone else decided, hey, it's cheap rent, not anymore. Let's all hang out there. And that's where we started the Bangkok Market. In 1972, my father started the first Thai grocery store in the history of America. It was right there on Melrose between Western and Normandy. Most people would know it because it's really close to Koreatown. This is way before Thai Town, and which we'll get there, by the way. And it was a 600 square foot little stall in a mall, and not like a shopping mall, but like, like a strip mall. And it was a little trading post, and he called it the Bangkok Market. But in fact, it was more like it was literally a trading post. Oh, cool! I like that. We got crazy questions, Matt, and then BP. I like that. Oh, good. We'll talk about school lunches. Good. I'll do the quick history of Thai food, then we'll do questions, and I'll talk about my history. The Bangkok Market, 72. The Royal Thai Cuisine restaurants in 78, and then they eventually became 8 of them. So my family had restaurants all up and down Southern California. And then after that, we opened a company called Bangkok Produce, where my father had the idea to grow Asian produce, between seasons, either in the Central Valley of California or in Mexico, because when it got too cold for the Central Valley in winter, we needed to switch over to Southern Hemisphere. Although it's technically not the Southern Hemisphere, it's warm enough to grow Asian produce. So I'm going to take a break there and get to questions, and I'll come back. So I'll put a pin in Asian produce. All right, Southwest Louisiana. What's up, M? It's M Matt. That's awesome, man. So BP has a good question. I think I'm going to send this to you, Kevin, as well. We'll go around the room and type your comments below too. Were you ever embarrassed about bringing your family foods in school lunch bags? Oh, dude. It wasn't the school lunch bags, right? For me, it was like once you pop the seal either on the lunch box or the thermos or the Ziploc, it was the smell, right? I went to school. It was second grade. I started school on the west side. We moved from the east side by Silver Lake over to kind of the Pico Overland area. And we opened the Thai restaurant there. It was Royal Thai. It was on Pico and Overland, close to where the West Side Pavilion is. So I was the only Asian kid at St. Timothy's, and St. Timothy's still there, by the way, on Pico. So it was when I cracked the bag, and it was like garlic pork, and then it was sticky rice or papaya salad. like 15 other non-Asian kids would be like, "Oh, what is that smell? And why do you eat that?" So that was mine was garlic pork and papaya salad. Kevin, do you have a lunch story as a kid?
You know what? I grew up in Hawaii, so it's like
yeah.
85% Asian. And then my dad didn't cook, so I just had a lot of canned soup. So there was nothing unusual anyway. So my story cannot be nearly as interesting as your. Yeah. So
for sure. So for me, BP and other kids, I think it's a common story. I'm sure if you ask Roy Choi or David Chang or any of the other chefs, these are all very, very fun memories. Let's see. Yeah, throw your questions and comments. What was your craziest lunch story, and did you experience anything like that in the comments? Okay, so Royal Thai Cuisine and then Bangkok Produce. So what I tell people is I had 3 concurrent apprenticeships growing up, and back when I'm almost 50 now, and when I was young, to work in a restaurant, was not cool. There was no Food Network. And we really worked your way up in most, food businesses, be it grocery stores, produce companies, or restaurants. So I had 3 concurrent apprenticeships, I would say. So in the restaurants, I started by, I was a really, really little kid. I would actually get home from school walk. I would walk to the restaurant. St. Timothy's to Royal Thai was 2 blocks, and I would just start by doing side work like polishing silverware, or and then work my way up to like busboy. Busboy got me then into the kitchen to dishwasher into prep cook, into cook, and then so I basically worked every single position in the restaurants, and then in the grocery store as I got older, they put me there because when I had a driver's license, I could drive to the east side again. I worked every position in the grocery store, every position in our import company, and same thing with the agriculture business. So I would spend summers in the Central Valley in California. We had a lot of really fun partnerships with the Laotian, the Hmong people. And then in the winters, I would be in Mexico. So I didn't have any summer or winter vacations. They were all comprised of free labor. So all right, so I'm gonna stop boring everyone. All right, sticky rice and larb, says Soprana Katya. Yes, larb. Anything with a massive amount of garlic is gonna freak a bunch of kids out. That's for sure. Erica Zamora, what's going on? How are you? Watching between parent conferences and classrooms at Ivanhoe. Shout out to Erica Zamora. She was a teacher at Ivanhoe. And where it was our school in Silver Lake, and since we've moved over to Calabasas, my fun lunch was a live liver pate on pumpernickel bread. Tina, that sounds delicious right now. By the way, I would eat the hell out of that right now. My kids are so hard to cook for. I'd love to know what experiences with kids. Grace Lee via YouTube. All right, we have 2 kids right now. Allie, I married about 11 years ago. And my wife is Caucasian. So we have 2 little Hapa kids, 9 and 6 years old. And they are the pickiest eaters, okay? So in your mind, you have this romantic idea that chef's kids eat chef's food. No way, dude. I literally, before jumping on the stream, I ordered Domino's pizza to be delivered at home. So that's real. There's my thing right there. All right.
Do they?
I know he's like, yeah.
Do they eat? Can you cook with like onions or like no, right? I had to just start to hide it. That was what I found.
Forget about onions. They don't even eat green food, right? Kevin has you have 2 teenagers and almost more than teenagers right now, right?
13 and 10, yeah, but they're a little bit older. But it's the same thing. But I have to hide all of like the vegetables somehow.
Yeah, at least you can hide it, man. My kids, they sniff that out and they get rid of it. All right, Lori Goldstein is asking about Chopped and Cutthroat and Tournament of Champions. Let's jump ahead a little bit so we can weave it actually into the story. Thank you very much, Lori. Appreciate you. Thank you, Grace, as well. My kids my kids don't eat any. They're eating pizza tonight in LA. I'm in New York, by the way. And that's why I'm not going to be cooking for you tonight. If you're in Manhattan, by the way, come to the Camp stores on 5th Avenue tomorrow. I'll be doing a little California activation. All right, Food Network. Let's talk about how I got on Food Network. I think this is what people really want to know as well. So mom and pop kid, dropped out of high school. But it's, my grandma passed away when I was in my late teens. And you know what? I was already messing up really bad at that point. So she left me a little money. We were poor, right? My family was dirt poor. During those first years of the grocery store, we had food stamps, and I remember government, they used to sell like it was 5-pound blocks of cheddar cheese that would give away, number 10 cans of peanut butter. And I lived on that stuff, man. I mean, so I have a very romantic, we didn't know we were poor because we always had food to eat and we were busy. But those lean years, I mean, always kind of, set me in my ways. So you guys see me on TV, if you guys see me on the street, I'm the same guy no matter what. I'll show people my Domino's Pizza app and not be embarrassed about it. So, okay. I went to work at Wynn Las Vegas in 2008. And so if anyone's been to Las Vegas, Steve Wynn was probably the most impactful hotel pioneer in Las Vegas history. He really kind of created what modern Vegas is. And I was brought in to open Encore Hotel. So if you ever been to the Encore Hotel, throw that in the comments below. Steve opened Wynn Hotel in 2003, and we opened Encore 2008. And I was a relative no one before. I spent the last years before going to Encore in a company called Bon Appetit, and not the magazine, but it's a really kind of prestigious food management company. I opened the first Asian cafe at Google. I was very much in the tech sector post IPO, by the way. So missed out on the millions. Way missed out on the millions. And then while I was at Win, I was asked to battle Iron Chef Morimoto on Iron Chef America. At that point, it was still probably in their I don't know 10th, 15th season, and I was just a cook. I was a chef at a hotel. So they asked me if I wanted to battle Morimoto. I said hell yeah. And then they were like, so I'm going to tell you guys the secret on how Iron Chef really works, or how it used to work. You know how you walk in and the chairman is like, secret ingredient is, and they reveal, and you're like, oh no. They actually tell you it's one of three possibilities before you walk into the kitchen. And I trained for all three likelihoods. So I would keep my two sous chefs after like a 12-hour day for 3 more hours, and we would train for 3 hours every day. So it was either going to be battle seaweed, battle loose leaf tea, or battle capon. And capon is basically just a castrated rooster. So it grows and it tastes a certain way. It's a very delicious bird. So I walked in and it was battle seaweed against Morimoto. It was like a war where you just give this guy a nuclear bomb, right? And I had to literally like a little knife. So it was set up so Morimoto would beat the snot out of me. It would make for really great TV, and then they'd send me on my way, and no one would ever hear from me again. It was pretty messed up. And so I get there, I throw down. I made sushi, I made Chinese, I made Thai. I threw all of Pan Asia at the guy. We get to the podium for the announcement of the winner, and Mark Dacascos, who's my friend today, who plays the chairman. The winner of Iron Chef Battle Seaweed is Chef, and he points at Morimoto, and I'm like, oh, I lost. And he was like, the points are Morimoto 50, Chef Tila 48. Oh. So it was really close. Morimoto walks over and he's like, dude, I've never even heard of you, and you almost beat the pants off me. And we've been good friends ever since. So, that led to Cutthroat Kitchen, which was my first successful series on Food Network, and we did 200 episodes of that, and it got really, really popular. And then that subsequently led them to ask me to do more work. So I've judged Chopped. I've been a Chopped champion. Guys Grocery Games. Obviously, right now, we're in Tournament of Champions every Sunday. It's 32 of the best chefs on Food Network battling out. Only one will survive. And that's how I got into television. So Maria Navoa she's all excited. Yeah. So Tournament of Champions Sunday nights. We're in episode 3 this week, and I've yet to battle. I'm seeded number 1 on. There's 2 West Coast brackets and there's 2 East Coast 8, 8, 8, 8, so makes 32. So I'm gonna have to battle pretty soon in a few weeks against one of Brian Malarkey's chef. I think his name is Carlos. I'll have to look him up. So anyway, okay, where are we at? Kevin. Wow, it's already been 20 minutes. That's unbelievable. I can't believe it. So any questions? Where can I get tickets for Tournament of Champions? Lori Goldstein. So we're in Tournament of Champions season 3, and if you can't if you don't know the show, I do recommend either going to Discovery Plus. It is the #1 rated show on Food Network. It's all of your favorite chefs from Food Network, and now we've brought in a lot of chefs from help me out here, guys. What's that other show? That other Top Chef. That's right. I didn't want to say that. I've never done that show. That was on purpose. Anyway, but we're all battling down. And you can't get tickets yet. Because we shot the last 2 seasons in COVID. So we basically had to find a group of, the same group of people that we had fly up to Northern California. They were sequestered. They were being tested multiple times a day. But Tournament of Champions is coming back next year. So if I get any good, inside information, I will send it over. You can follow me on my social channels. So, all right. Chasing Serenity wants to know, Who am I most worried about? All right. The truth is, I, so if you watched last season, I made it down from 18 to the final four, right? The quarterfinals. I beat my sister, my nemesis, Antonia Lafaso, and no one thought she could beat me. So I'm always worried about Antonia. And then once I beat Antonia, I had to battle Brooke Williamson. So I'm always worried about those two the most. But if you look at my bracket, I've got a lot of really great chefs in my bracket. I've got dude, Shirley Chung is somewhere in my bracket. There's a bunch of chefs in my bracket. So it's not going to be an easy year, by the way. I'm not giving you any spoilers or foreshadowing, but definitely root for Team Tila. Those are some of, you notice I didn't put up one male that I was worried about. Tournament of Champions has been won solidly by females the last two seasons. So who am I worried about? Michael Voltaggio. I'm worried about Michael Voltaggio for sure. He scares me. Okay, here we go. By the way, what do we got? Then we got tickets there. Tight. Okay, yeah. So please, we're giving away cookbooks tonight. So we want you to email ECDEPT, basically EC Department LAPL. .org for an opportunity to win autographed cookbooks. They will be sent to you. Okay, what are your go-to restaurants? EPET 513. What are your go-to restaurants in that are Thai in Los Angeles? So all right, let's go back to the Thai history of Thai people in LA. In 1999, there was a grant written by the Thai CDC to get some grant money to officially recognize 6 blocks of Hollywood Boulevard between Western and Normandy, and have that be recognized as the first official Thai town in America. And they won that grant. And although I wasn't part of the grant writing process, I was actually part of the process that got Thai town really, really popular, and in a few different ways. Number one, back in the day, does anyone on this stream remember Huell Hauser? He was a PBS legend that basically toured around not just Los Angeles but all of California. And I was on 2 episodes of Huell Hauser. One, I was the culinary intern at the Los Angeles Times under Russ Parsons from '98 to 2000. And Huell Hauser did a show there, and I was like, Huell, come to Thai Town. He's like, what is a Thai Town? And then we did an entire episode on Thai Town. And then I also had the LA Times food section's holiday party in Thai Town in '99. And all those things basically kind of bubbled up. And then when Anthony Bourdain did an episode of No Reservations Los Angeles, we did a segment on Thai Town. So you can go back and look at that. So I've walked a lot of really, true culinary legends through Los Angeles' Thai Town. And so there's a very long way to answer that question. Start your Thai food journey in LA in Thai Town. Park your car at New Hollywood Plaza, which is basically Hollywood and again, right between Western and Normandy. And in that plaza, New Hollywood Plaza, there's some legendary restaurants. One of them is named Ruin Pair, RUENPAIR. Best papaya salad in America, best pork jerky in America. And then you're going to go across the little plaza there to Pa Ord restaurant. Pa Ord means translates to auntie. Ord Pa means auntie. Best tom yum noodle soup. Some of the best boat noodles in LA. And then from there you're going to walk 1 block east towards Hollywood Boulevard, and there's a restaurant called SAP, SAPP, which has become legendary. We brought Tony Bourdain there. Jade noodles is the dish I want you to eat there. It's basically an egg noodle that's made with juiced green, so it's a green pasta. To that we wrap roast duck, Chinese barbecue pork, ground pork, and it's a dry noodle dish. Super, super delicious. And then I want you to go west about 2 blocks to a restaurant named Yai, YAI. And there is the best pad see the best rice noodle dishes, basically drunken noodles. And they do something called the steamed curry, which is basically a seafood mix. all steamed in curry. Phenomenal. All right, I've gone off on a tangent. PB, Mrs. Huell, Hauser, Lori Goldstein. Where's Artie been this season? She hasn't been on Tournament of Champions. Artie Sequeira, who BP is talking about. I think you could write Guy in the network to see if, and write Artie to see if she'd be interested in cooking. Not to, it's literally the hardest cooking show on TV. Period. No matter what network. So I think some people have been a little resistant or nervous. It's a lot when you put yourselves out there in front of millions and millions of people, because you lose, and it hurts the system. You win, it's good for you, but it's kind of a career gamble, because if you end up losing a lot, which I haven't, people's perceptions can mess with you. Other people miss Huelhauser. Lori misses California Gold. That was one of his shows for sure. Okay. Dwayne Paulson, about 1986 at Bangkok Market. Oh, Dwayne is an OG, what we call an OG Bangkok Market. Hey, Dwayne, I probably bagged your groceries at Bangkok Market in May '86. True story. I had tom kha at a restaurant and I wanted to make it. No idea. He walked me through the store and told me how to make it. Oh my God, I still make this recipe and it never fails. Wow, that's incredible. Dwayne, in 1986, I was 11 years old. So let's put that into perspective. So 11-year-old Jet was walking you through the store, because I basically lived there, because like any good Asian family, kids are called free labor. Dwayne, that is so cool, man. If Kevin and his team doesn't give you a book, message me on Instagram. I'm sending you a book, and you're going to send me a picture. And man, you're one of my OGs. People often ask me, how did I get into the actual cooking part, like non-restaurant cooking? How did I get out of my family's business and get into like going to French culinary school and Japanese culinary school? And it relates back to people like Dwayne. While I was working at Bangkok Market, I always had a really good group of regulars, and they would ask me, Jet, how do I make tom kha? How do I make pad thai? How do I make tom yum? And I was like, shut up, I'll figure it out. Let me get the recipe. So I didn't say shut up, but they basically, I would make up recipes and I would give it to them. And then at one point, a group of them said, hey, Jet, why don't you just do a cooking class? We'll support it. Okay. Do 2 or 3 dishes. So you know what? I set up a cooking class in my mom's backyard in the 90s. And I basically had maybe 20 guests at a time. And I still have my flyers, by the way. I was charging a whopping $35 for someone to come to our backyard, get a 3-course meal personally cooked by me. And it was Barbara Hansen from the LA Times, who was writing about a lot of global cuisine. She got wind of those cooking classes and did a full cover story in '98. And from that article, I basically got hundreds and hundreds of phone calls, and it did 2 things. It shut down those cooking classes because they got too popular. They were not, and no one knew. These were pop-ups before you knew what pop-ups were. And then that basically pushed me to go to French culinary school and then Japanese culinary school. So good stuff. Okay, BP wants to know, is Jazz nominated for a James Beard Award? Jazz, by the way, being the owner of a very famous Southern Thai restaurant in LA. I don't know. Maybe we can. Someone can look that up. I know the Beard nominations just dropped, by the way. But if you've never been to Jazz's restaurant, oh man, Kevin, help me out here. BP, help me out here. I'm drawing a blank on the restaurant name. And then we're going to get to Tina H. Lerno's question, which is a very, very serious question. Okay, because we're going to get into Thai food already, because we're already halfway out of time. I can't believe it. Jazz, someone help me out. Someone type it in the comments. Let's find out if Jazz got it. Okay, here we go. Tina wants to know, hey, Jet, best fish sauce to buy. Sap? Nope. Is not the restaurant that Jazz owns. Best fish sauce to buy at the grocery store. Does the stuff last forever? I have some in my fridge that's over 5 years old. Tina, let's get rid of the 5-year-old stuff. I'm sure it's good and I'm sure it's tasty, but we're going to call that aged fish sauce now. And is it bad? No. But is it probably on the strong tasting side? Yeah. So let's get rid of that. So Tina, Jitlada, BP, thank you. Jitlada is the restaurant. I've brought so many famous chefs and celebrities to that restaurant. It is probably the hottest restaurant, probably the most well-known Thai restaurant in the last 5 or 10 years in LA. So Jitlada, Southern Thai food, by the way. Okay, here's my thing on fish sauce. In 101 Thai dishes, the #1 Thai cookbook in America right now, that we are giving away copies because you're hanging out with with us at LA Made. Here's my take. Thai food is 5 flavors: hot, sour, salty, sweet, savory. Hot, sour, salty, sweet, savory. And cooking Asian food in general is really kind of like a color palette. Each flavor is a color, and you need to understand what ingredients create that flavor. So for instance, sour is lime juice, sour is tamarind, sour is vinegar. Salt and umami is fish sauce, soy sauce, oyster sauce. So you start to accumulate this collection of paints, these flavorings, and that's what and that's what you use to kind of paint your food. All right. I love 2 fish sauces. Okay. Commonly available, 3 crabs fish sauce. Okay, 3 crabs fish sauce. It's a Vietnamese brand, so I'm going against my Thai family. I know that. It's okay. But it's got such a beautiful rounded flavor. It's not just salt. It's got a good amount of savory. It's got a good amount of sweet. It's a nice balanced fish sauce. And I do like a brand called Tiparos. Tiparos, Tiparos. So I'm not gonna diss any fish sauce, but I'm not into the whole premium $10 a bottle. I'm like, yo, it's just fish sauce. Calm down. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so Tina, get rid of your 5-year-old bottle, replace it with any fish sauce like 3 crabs or made in Thailand. You're going to be good to go. Chasing Serenity. Does gochujang age well? No, gochujang, like many ingredients, it will be fine. It won't. It rarely will turn because of the way it's processed naturally. It's fermented, but it will turn. You're gonna gochujang at its best. It should have a smoky heat note. It should have a decent amount of sweetness, and it's made of rice, so there's a lot of starch in it. It'll start to oxidize. So when it gets away from that bright red color into kind of a maroon color, it's time to pitch it out. And what you can do too is scrape the top. But after about 6 months, I would start to churn your ingredients, for sure. Okay. James Beard Award announced June 13th. All right, good. Yeah, so I was nominated last year through pandemic. I was nominated for James Beard, an Emmy, and a People's Choice Award all the same year for a show that I created called Ready Jet Cook, and it was a digital show. So it was like this. No one thought it was gonna, actually be put up for anything, and we got 3 noms. So go check it out. It's on YouTube. And it's also on Discovery Plus. It's a Food Network show. Okay. Have I talked about Thai history, Thai food? Have I talked about my history? Am I leaving you hanging? Thai food? No.
I'm kind of curious, Jet, about how the library kind of was integrated with your life in the beginning. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Thanks, Kevin. So like most kids in LA, we didn't have a lot. So I utilized the library. I have a library card from way back in the day. So the library for me was 2 things, right? One, it was, I lived in kind of rough neighborhoods in LA, and I'm not going to tell you which. You kind of know by the geography of my family's businesses, but I'm not going to kind of be disparaging towards the neighborhood. They were kind of rough in certain times in between the 70s and the 90s. So the library was a place I would learn things. And the library was a safe place. So it was a place we could hang out after school. We could hang out on the weekends. And it was a place where we had so much free knowledge at our fingertips that, being an immigrant kid, in many countries in the world, I think where you're born is probably the station you're going to end up dying in. And the thing about America, why this country is so amazing, and I love it to death, to me, is because it really is a land of opportunity. And it's not just obviously, entrepreneurial opportunity, but just the amount of information at your fingertips. And for me, in my early years, it was library. It was kid stories at first. We couldn't afford. It's not like we didn't have Amazon in the 70s. you couldn't find all the classics. You know what I mean? Like Goodnight Moon and The Hungry Caterpillar, and right. And we didn't have even the Seuss books. We couldn't get any of those. So my parents would rent those, and then my schools would take us to the library as part of the day. And when you just it was just so impactful for me. And as I got older, it was a place I could get on this thing called the internet and like check things out. You know what I mean? And and then my first, the Scarlet Letter, all the books that we had to read, we couldn't afford, so I had to rent them at the library. So that's the kind of my library experience, Kevin. Through East Hollywood and Rancho Park. Those were all my actual libraries I could tell you what streets they're on as well. Okay. Do you want to go back to food, or I take more questions, brother?
Yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to ask about that. But yeah.
Thank you, BP. BP's on my side. Artisan fish sauce. Artisan. Yeah, bro. You guys know which one I'm talking about too. That's out there and all the chefs push. Okay, Patrick. The Thai cookbook uses prepared red curry paste. How about a red curry paste recipe? Patrick, this new book, 101 Thai, has 4 or 5 different from scratch recipes in it. The classics: red, Penang, yellow, masaman, and those are all in there. And I give you the proportions. So curry paste, by the way, can we spend just 3 minutes on curry? So curry, Curry. Before that, it was Kare, kare, right? And it was a Tamil word originally, and then Indian word. And all curry translates to, friends, is a spiced sauce. That's all it literally translates to. So, who are the big curry cultures in the world? I would say Indians. They put it up there, Kevin, proudly. Anyway, and you have a really good chance, guys, that everyone on this thread is going to get a book tonight. So, so the Indian culture is a big curry culture, but so if we know that curry is a spice sauce, how does India get there? By way of masala, dry spices ground into a powder called masala, and then hydrated by either water, coconut milk, or stock. Okay, curry. Japanese curry, pretty similar as well. Thai curry, very different though. Thai food uses herbs to make that mother paste so if India uses a masala of spices, Thailand uses a paste of herbs: lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, galanga, and to that base mother of herb paste, we will add dry spices like our Indian sisters will, or cousins. So my book has a bunch of different curry paste in it. And if you're like, hey, what's the difference between red and green curry? Well, guys, it's as simple as red chilies versus green chilies.
Oh.
and then Kevin, were you like going down the road?
I don't know. I mean, I just don't. I know what I don't know, and I don't know a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, no, you know what I've learned in 30 years of cooking? It's usually the most simple answer. Right, because when I tried to cook French food at first, I was like, "What is all this amazingness?" And then they're like mirepoix. I was like, "Okay."
Oh.
And then so the answer is probably easier than you think when you have questions. By the way, so yeah, so Patrick, you check out the book. It has the curry mother paste, but it also has the derivatives of a bunch of different curries as well. All right, so James Beard. So I think Jazz was nominated. So there you go, BP. Thank you very much. And Maria is all my 3 books are in the library. That's crazy. And then this LA man, I think, goes into the LA library, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm not saying bad words. And I'm teaching stuff. There you go. All right, BP. Are there differences between brands of rice? I would say so for sure, BP. I'm going to stay in the context of Thai food because of what we're talking about tonight. Thai people eat jasmine long grain rice, which is a fragrant, naturally long grain rice. Thai people also eat a long grain fragrant rice, so our version of sticky rice. And Thai and Vietnamese and Laotian sticky rice. Of course, you could say Cambodian, but generally, this style of rice is very different than other sticky or glutinous rice, because most glutinous rice around the world is medium or short grain, kind of fat and round. This varietal is a long grain, and it's a steamed rice. So if you got the right rice, I would say the brand is not as important as having the correct rice. Actually, I'm going to say unequivocally, the brand doesn't matter if you have the correct rice, right? There's a bigger difference when you're trying to make like Thai sticky rice and mangoes. If you're trying to substitute Japanese or Chinese kind of shorter grain rice, it's not going to come out the same because the process is totally different. All right, 101 Asian dishes is catalog number 641595. That's great. That's awesome. It takes you. That's great. You gotta teach your class, by the way, and what all that means, by the way.
It's just a call number.
Okay, got it. Any tips? Like, what is 641.595? Does that mean anything?
They're just different subject classifications, and so like each of the numbers kind of relates to its subject matter. So, and then it gets more specific as it gets into like the individual titles themselves. Yeah, 600s are the cookbook numbers.
Oh, see, dope. You just see the right there, right? And I like that exactly. A lot. That's so cool. All right, 1997 Super Chick wants to know from YouTube, which noodles recommended for simple hot pots? Super Chick, I'm going to break down noodles kind of at a very 30,000 foot level. So noodles, Chinese made them. My Scott Conant, my buddy on Chopped, we always he says his Nona made noodles better because they make pasta. But I'm saying, but my Nona created the noodles. So anyway, Italian, Chinese. Marco Polo. Anyway, going back.
Sure.
Right. So the Italians make most pasta out of like wheat, right? Semolina or durum flour. Asians break down noodles by wheat, by rice, or by starch. And I'm sure there's another category. So rice noodles are either going to be very thin, like vermicelli. They'll be kind of thicker and fatter, like bun, like Vietnamese bun. And then they have the fresh wide ones, which Chinese would call hor fun, or Thai people would call kuttio sen nhai. And so for simple hot pots, I think any of the rice noodles are going to be preferred, which are going to be either extrusions like rice vermicelli. You can find it not even non-Asian markets. But in my cookbook, I actually teach you how to make fresh rice noodles, and they're not very difficult. You have all the ingredients at home. So let's see. Simple food is the most delicious. That is absolutely true. I totally agree. Okay, Terry Markson. Hey, we have someone new jumping in. Hey, Terry. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. What's your favorite LA food besides Thai? Ooh, we're gonna start fights. But you know what? My family my uncle married my Aunt Dora, who's Mexican American. And in our house, we're a big mixed family, and Mexican food is my second favorite, for sure, because of just, Aunt Dora kind of being one of my caregivers. So some places that I eat, LA places. T is for my last name. Oh, look at that. I'm learning all these things here. So I know the 600s are cookbooks, and T is the author. I can't believe I'm an author. Just wigs my mind out. So Mexican food, if you've not been, I'm just going to throw out a few. We've got the best taco scene in the United States. So if you're not eating at Mariscos, Jalisco's, if you're not eating, then something's wrong with you. Follow Street Gourmet LA. Follow Street Gourmet LA. And he is my taco guru. I call him. He's like the Jet Tila of Mexican food to me. So anyway, do you miss any LA restaurants that aren't here anymore? Oh man, that's a really good question. If anyone here in the comments want to throw in theirs as well, go for it. But does anyone remember the Velvet Turtle? I mean, dude,
is that in Chinatown?
There was one in Chinatown. There was one in the West Side. But it was a chain of restaurants that was around in like the 70s to like the 90s. Dude, so what else do I miss? Yeah, I got to think about that. Does anyone else um, can think of a restaurant that they totally missed? Throw it in there. Street Gourmet LA, exactly right. Um, so another shout out to a journalist who's really shedding a lot of really good light on some really great taco places here. Do I speak Thai at home? Okay, so when I was a kid, my first language was Cantonese because I'm actually more Chinese blood. So my grandparents escaped communism from China into Thailand in the 30s. My parents were born in the 40s, so they were Chinese born Thai, right? And then they moved here in the 60s, and I'm basically American. I'm born American, but I'm Chinese by blood, Thai by my parents' birth, if that makes
Mm.
any sense. So there you go. Oh, Lana Thai, good one. Erica Zamora, total historical Thai spot, really good one. Not there anymore. Seafood broiler, Pet 513. I didn't get to go there. Lori likes seafood broiler too. All right, we got to do a deep dive after this. After this thing. All right, we're getting to 10 minutes out. I'm going to give a few plugs as to where I am in the next few weeks and months, guys. Tournament of Champions, obviously, every Sunday night. I think it's prime time, so it's 8 p.m. Sundays. I am seeded one in the West Coast bracket A or B, and I'll be cooking very soon. So, like March Madness, you win once, you move on, you lose once, you go home. A lot coming on there. I'll be on the Drew Barrymore show in the next few weeks. Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show is doing a series on She Wants to Learn to Cook. So I'm going to be one of her cooking teachers there. I'll see you guys on Guys Grocery Games, Guys Ranch Kitchen, Beat Bobby Flay. We're actually back in studio for that in about 2 weeks. That's why I'll be back in New York. If anybody is here in Manhattan, I'll be at the Camp store on Fifth Avenue all day tomorrow. And camp is like basically like a play gym, a library, it's a kids experience place. It's really great. Do you want to plug the next LA Made? What's going on the next? I want to know, Kevin. What's the next LA Made?
Yeah, next week we're gonna have four professional female skateboarders, two pretty old school ones, and then two up and coming, and that's gonna be next Thursday at 4 p.m. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
that's gonna
so
be pretty.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you ever eat at Farrell's? Because
Oh
BP
yeah,
brought up Farrell's. Dude, good one, BP.
yeah. I
Remember
hit
like
the
the
one in
20
Temple
scoop?
City as the one I used to go to, and they made it out to Hawaii too. Yeah,
Did they really?
yeah.
Farrell's have made it out to
With
Hawaii.
the big drum, and when it was your
Yeah,
birthday, my
they would walk
friend,
around.
yeah, my friend would just say it was my birthday just because he wanted to embarrass me a lot, and I didn't appreciate that. Um,
Oh,
so that gives you a little insight into me.
yeah. I was born in Alhambra, so we had one in
Oh, okay.
Alhambra, and
Yeah, that's where my
we
mom
spent.
lives still.
Oh, dope, man. We had Farrell's there, and we spent many a birthday there for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
Dude, that is
Farrell's.
amazing. So Kevin, check out Kevin. Put up the equal size box, bro. We always joke whenever I'm on the road and I meet people. People are like, "Yo, Kevin, I think we're related." Do you guys see like I see a little resemblance here.
It's
Yeah, dude, you know what I
mixed
mean?
Asian as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But also, so Kevin and I apologize if whoever was here on the last stream. I booked a Kelly Clarkson thing like last second. I couldn't get on the road back in time. I apologize. And so Kevin and I have been probably talking for about 3-4 months now, and I've been chatting with him online, and how we're virtual meeting. And I'm like, oh, Kevin is this really nice 20-something kid who's doing his library. Bro, like we're the same age. Kevin, you make me look bad. That's why I'm
No.
putting you on blast, bro. You look great. I
Ah, well,
can't believe
thank
we're the
you.
same age, dog. Okay. CC Brown agreed. By the way, you still can get their chocolate sauce. Thank God.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you eat a trough at Farrell's, Lori? Every birthday we ate troughs at Farrell's. You bet. So let's see. You're simply fantastic. I've learned so many research. Oh, you're very kind, Cheryl. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Van Nuys Farrell's, dude. BP like Farrell's was the thing, man. What a bummer that they went out of business. I bet they would do well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Last few minutes before I need to head out here. But Let me know if you have any questions. So again, I'll see you guys on TV. One-on-one Thai dishes you need to cook before you die, available at the library, firstly. Second, if you email us, you have email us for a chance to win. We will send one out to you that is autographed. And then if you are going to buy one anywhere books are sold, for sure. I'll see you guys on television. Anything else really fun that's going on? We're just super busy right now. A lot of television coming up. So I'm looking at my calendar. Yeah.
I got a question. What's your go-to snack when you want to feel healthy and like not like, you know,
yeah.
carrot sticks?
Wow. Oh, see, that's uber healthy, isn't it?
I guess.
My go-to snack is probably like really boring, real talk. I take a can of tuna and I wring out all the water. I hit it with lemon pepper and I'll eat it. And I'll actually just make little lettuce wraps. So yeah,
I'm gonna do that. That sounds great.
Meal prep.
I'm totally gonna do that. Yeah.
Let's spend the last 5 minutes. Let's meal prep talk. So because I'm with you, dude. I get paid to cook. I get paid to eat, and it's too much at some point. So, and when I'm on the road, like I am this month, I usually when I order out, it's usually just like sushi. I'll do a miso soup. And I eat a bunch of clean rolls, and then I'll call it because it's too easy to eat too rich. Do you have a favorite snack, Kevin, that you go?
I mean, a lot of times my wife makes us do cleanses, and so we eat so much edamame. Just like my kids won't even eat the edamame because they use it as a substitute for rice. So when we're not having the rice, then we'll have the edamame. But the kids are just like these. I mean, I don't mind because whatever, I'm gonna go. But they're just like, no, I don't want to eat that anymore. So a lot of edamame. Yeah.
You're so bitter about that, bro. I mean,
they are. I don't care, you know. And so like a lot of edamame, and then a lot of like raw almonds. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
And then a cup of water because I find that kind of. Do you find like when you're traveling so much and you kind of have to watch what you eat, that you have to work out in some way to kind of make sure you're staying healthy? Because I know, you know, if you're traveling a lot, you probably don't get to exercise.
A lot of water, and just a lot of like, hotels usually will always have a bike or a treadmill, and that's really it. And I do a lot of like, in room, like, working out too. I mean, because sometimes like you'll go to the hotel gym and like this will come out, like people get their phone to start like videoing you. Like people want like, people like where they're recognizable and in like funny positions and like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But
do you ever kind of have to like just kind of say something, or do you just kind of stop and go back to your room?
I'll like disarm them in a fun way. I'm like, hey, you don't have to sneak it. We can hang out. Like, you're gonna do a picture, and then usually people are kind of like, oh no, like you caught me. You know what I mean? So I'm always happy to say hi on the street. Like if anyone notices me on the street, I'm always happy to say hi. Cheryl Durden, clean rolls. Clean roll to me is I don't like the mayonnaise rolls. So yellowtail scallion is a classic for me. Whatever the sushi place's vegetable roll, which is usually like cucumber, avocado, and I don't put anything on it. That's a clean roll for me. So a lot of miso soup. The seaweed's super good for you. Miso is super good for you. It's super salty, but super good for you. You know what I mean? Diane Estrella, really great program. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to making the dishes from your book. You bet, Diane. And I think, again, anyone who's probably commented more than once is congratulations. I have a good feeling you're going to do well and end up getting a book. Man.
And then I kind of have a follow-up question. When you're cooking for your kids, like we were talking a little bit before, and they're finicky eaters, how do you hide your vegetables from them? If you can get them to eat at all with the vegetables.
Yeah. We know what I do. There's a few ways I do it, right? Number one, cauliflower gets steamed and smashed into mashed potatoes. It's no one can tell. Totally indetectable. And
is it the consistency?
Really water. When you steam it, basically you boil it or steam it until it falls apart.
Okay.
And you whip it into the potatoes. You can't even tell. You know what? We have like, they're trained to eat certain vegetables that they never complain about. Like broccoli is an easy one, carrots is an easy one, peas is an easy one. But sweet potato, I make them eat. I mean, I don't make them. I ask them to. And I make my entire family eat a lot of sweet potatoes. I think pumpkin, just a lot of fiber. You know what I mean? And it's just easy. Also, seaweed is massive. They eat a lot of seaweed snacks.
Yeah, same with my kids.
Here's a good hack, guys. Minute rice, seaweed snacks, and you basically were making like they make their own individual sushi rolls.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a big one.
Sometimes we have some salmon. If we have leftover salmon that we fry, just throw it in there. But then the problem with my kids is they're slobs, so they get the rice everywhere, and then I'm like, it's
That's
frustrating.
okay. That's normal, dude.
I know it's normal, but it doesn't mean I can't get frustrated.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's parenting is basically.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just like, God, guys got rice everywhere, and then
Yeah.
I'm pulling my hair out.
That's why I do minute rice because it's less sticky than homemade rice.
Oh yeah, I use a rice cooker, and then we just have whatever. But I understand. Yeah, for sure.
Is there always a pot of rice going at your house?
You know what? I try not to because the starches I find is so heavy after a while, and then I just growing up in Hawaii, that was the go-to always. It didn't matter what you ate. You could have spaghetti. My grandma always had rice next. It didn't matter. TV dinner, rice. So I just as I learned about grains and white rice in particular, I've just been like, maybe not all the time. So,
can everybody on this thread like bomb Kevin up with a bag of edamame? Let's just mail him. Let's just mail him 100 bags of edamame.
You know, that's fine. Yeah. I'll eat them. It's just the kids who will just.
Yeah. You know what we do at my restaurant when I was in Vegas? We would do edamame with $6, right? It's already ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I would stir fry edamame, the podded one, not the deshelled one, with XO sauce. So a little oyster sauce is like so spicy edamame. So when you ate it with the actual pod, you'd have to lick your fingers. Spicy. It had a Szechuan flavor to it, dude. Super good. It's a way to get your edamame a little more exciting. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
all right, yeah. Oyster sauce. I'll think about that. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Chasing Serenity. Can you talk about chopped people and add another fryer or ice cream? Yeah. Can you talk to the chopped people? Yeah, you bet. So Serenity's talking about people always get knocked out by either there's food, not enough fryer space, or they don't fry in time because everyone else is hogging the fryer. And the ice cream machine is always usually the death nail. Anyone who gets to the ice cream machine usually gets to go home. Remember, Serenity, if we tell them to add more, then we lose the suspense. All right. So we don't want that. Hey, did anyone last night watch? I don't want to spoil it. Who watched The Masked Singer? I'm just gonna say that without spoiling it, that someone on Food Network was somewhere on The Masked Singer. So you guys, it's very timely right now. So once you guys get off the thread, one of my good friends, phenomenal Food Network A-list chef, was on The Masked Singer last night. So if you can tell us who he was, or if you watch it, it was a pretty awesome episode. Anyway, all right. Any other questions? Zucchini flour. Okay. Dried and ground to powder. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. I can't believe Erica Zamora, my friend, was on this thread. That's so cool. All right. So now we have a private chat where they're giving Kevin a hard time. I was laughing about that too. What's your late night go-to meal? Joseph, I'm in New York, so it's only 8 o'clock here. So I do feel like there's a slice of pizza in my future. I gotta tell you, that's my New York go-to late night food. In LA, you know, I can't. This is gonna be public. It's gonna be like the history books. Chicken wings is my favorite food. Period. But Mike, you really, when I was before I had kids, there would be many a 1, 2, 3 a.m. where I would get in my car and go get $2 tacos at Jack in the Box, like 99-cent tacos for two. Yeah, come on, who out there didn't? It's from LA.
But Jack in the Box, not Del Taco. Del Taco for me is the go-to of the fast food.
This is when I lived on the West Side. Yeah, no, I had a Jack in the Box that was like just like right when I got my life from like 16 to 20.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I remember just like I get $10 and you get 20 tacos.
Oh yeah,
and you would just all night long. BP Duff, that's right, Duff Goldman. That is so fun. Cheryl, this was informative. Thanks for all the restaurants. Jack's are greasier. That's why they're more delicious. That's right, Patrick. Exactly right. And then Tommy's. When I lived in the middle city.
Oh yeah.
You guys got to hit Tommy's. You've never eaten at Tommy's. I think you have to do that. Just because to call yourself an Angelino, you got to eat at Thai Town. So guys, if you have any questions after this thread, please jump on my social. I'm at Jet Tila on Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook and all that good stuff. But we'll keep that conversation going, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Questions. Last questions.
You ever eat at the Hat? The pastrami dips?
Dude, the Hat for chili fries too.
Yeah. For me, you can't beat the pastrami dips. Those are like the top. I love them.
Pastrami at the Hat.
Yeah, but
are
light
they
dip.
gone? Is the Hat gone?
Oh no, they're still in Pasadena. There's one in Alhambra.
Me, dog.
No, yeah, they're still around. I have to like limit how often I go because my wife's like, you can't have any more of this. You're getting, you got to hang around. So
that's the opposite of edamame. Where do you live, Kevin? Or what part of town?
I live in Atwater.
Oh yeah, right in the middle. So yeah, we were in Silver Lake for the last 11 years, and we just moved to Calabasas these last like 6-7 months ago. So it was just time.
We have one more question here. From another. Let me see what it is. Oh, this is from another cook. We also had a program with her.
Oh,
Alicia.
Excellent. Well, let's give her
Alicia Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, chef? Your wife is an amazing baker. What's your favorite dessert? Alicia, my wife, Ali Tila, you guys will find her on social. You'll find her on TV now, actually. My favorite dessert that Ali makes, she makes a lot of really phenomenal desserts. I like sticky buns. So I like airy sweetbreads, like cinnamon rolls, sticky buns. That's my jam right there. So I could live my entire life without eating cookies and cakes, believe it or not. But doughy things like donuts all day, buns, cinnamon rolls, and morning. That's my jam all day. And ice cream. I'm a real simple palate. Real simple palate.
That's funny for a chef.
Yeah. Remember, I was a chef later in my life. I was
sure.
Kid most of my life. So yeah, you never. Patrick, privileged to have been on today. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you. Let's see. Best of luck, tournament champions. Erica, thanks so much. Let's get together. Erica, the team, we got to do pizza night. Inside joke there. More Jack in the Box in LA. That's right. Love Tommy's. I miss Jan's. I haven't been to Jan's. I haven't been to Jan's. Do check out all the Thai restaurants. Do check out the book. Marty's in West LA. Anybody? Marty's? Dude, there's the book right there. Kevin, throw it up. Anyway, I hope this was fun.
Yeah.
I hope it was informative.
I think people had a great time and just love talking with you and just learning about food. I mean, it's always a great time. Any final thoughts before we close out the program?
For me, guys, you know what? I just really appreciate. You know what? I am what I always call a diehard Angelino, and part of my growing up in LA was the library and just the city. And you know, I think a lot of people move here. I'm going to say here like I'm there with you because I'm always in LA in my heart. And you know, in the last few years, you know, I know things have gotten a little tense in the world, but you know, I think people are always like, hey, how are you so grounded? You haven't changed, yada yada yada. I think it's really because I was a poor kid who was born and lived in this amazing neighborhood that is Thai town now, but used to be, you know, just this part of the city that was surrounded by, you know, I was next to the Salvadorians, the Filipinos, next to Koreatown, Little Tokyo, Little Armenia, and it was that diversity that made me who I am, and it's that diversity that makes LA such a fantastic place. So when Kevin emailed me or hit me up a few months ago, he's like, "Hey, will you do something from the library?" I'd be like, "Absolutely, bro." So I hope all of you love the city as much as I do. We will continue to make it a great place. There it is, guys. I had a phenomenal time. Let's keep the conversation going on my social media. Kevin and the team, thank you very much for everything. And guys, if you have anything that we missed, let me know. But thank you again for having me tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, that was awesome. I hope everyone had a great time. And thank you so much for joining us for today's LA Made program. And remember to check out the library's online calendar at lapl.org/events. And don't forget to check out our next LA Made program that I mentioned earlier on Thursday, March 17th at 4 p.m., where we welcome women in skateboarding, past, present, and future. Join us to meet 4 trailblazing skaters who help change the perception of what women in skateboarding means and what the future of skating can look like. This includes pro skaters Cindy Whitehead and Alex White, some of the first female pro skaters, along with newer skaters Brianna King and Monica Torres. Participants viewing this virtual program will also have an opportunity to win a beginner's guide to skating. So until next time, we truly do appreciate all your support. The success of LA Mid and all of our library programs could not happen without viewers like you. So thanks a lot.